Well, good evening and happy Thursday. Welcome to Elegant Sentiments Today. I'm Sheryl and I am the owner of Elegant Sentiments, and this is our weekly card share number 91. So I have some fantastic products here that I'm going to use to make a simple but elegant little floral card. For my sentiments, I'm using today PinkFresh Studio, and this one is called Hope You're Smiling. So it's got some really nice sentiments there, and I used one of these for the sample, and it has the coordinating die. This one also comes with press plates as well. And then I have, for the core products, I've got an embossing folder and coordinating layering stencils from Altenew. So this one is the Dancing Cosmos, and there's the 3D embossing folder and the layering stencils to coordinate. So that is that. And then, of course, I have my beautiful Lisa Horton inks. I have Garden Sage and Woodland Moss for my greens, and then I have Alber's Ochre and Peanut Glow for my yellows. And then for my reds, I have Rhubarb Jam and Matisse Aubergine. And I might add in Cranberry Fizz. I'll just Fizz. And this is a swift dry hybrid ink. And this one, these two, I thought I had two. Yes. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. These two are from the Picked by Paula collection. They are matte blending inks, and this one is a color shift ink. So those are the inks that I have chosen for the project today. And let me move these over, and I'll show my little sample. And there you go. It's a really pretty card. It's got lots of texture in that 3D embossing, and it's a simple and sweet little card to share. So that is my card, and I'll go ahead and pull out my little sticky mat and get started inking up. Let me move this. Let's see. I'll move these inks over. That'll probably be the best thing. Okay, and get this in view. And I'll set my sample up there, although you can't really see it, but that's okay. All right, so I've got, this is a 5.5-inch square card base that I have, and I've got a 5-inch square that I'm going to use, and then my matting layer is 5 1/8. And so we're just going to ink right onto this panel that'll be our card front. So there are 4 stencils to this set. So it's a fun one. If I can get it open here. And there we go. So there's the four stencils that we're going to be using for our Cosmos. And I'm going to start with stencil number 1. I'm going to turn this just a little bit to make it easier. And I'm going to line this up so that it's kind of close to the top, and I get at least all of this flower on my card front. So I'm going to start with Rhubarb Jam for my flower, and just ink it up. Starting in the center of the flowers, I'm doing a heavy concentration of color and going a little lighter out to the edges, and I'm going to come back in and have an even darker center on these. with one of the darker colors. And on this one, I'm gonna leave the tips almost white. I didn't do that on the sample, but I think I want to see how I like it with this one, because they may end up being almost the same. I hope you're having a great week so far. It's been really nippy here in Central Ohio. We've got lots of the good old fluffy white stuff. Some people are really excited about that, but I'm not one of them. I like snow when I don't have to go out in it. No snow for me. If you're watching this on replay, I want to thank you for doing so. I appreciate you stopping by to check us out. I really enjoy sharing, and I hope you like some of my projects. And be sure to give me a like if you do like it, so I'll know. That's always good. So that is it for rhubarb jam on this layer. I'm going to also put in a little bit of the aubergine on this one. I want that center to be a little bit darker, and I may even come in with yet a third color to make it really dark. I don't know. Can't make up my mind. I pulled out that cranberry fizz thinking maybe, but we'll see. I might add it to one of them and see if I like it, and then move on from there. This is such a rich color, and it looks very, very pretty when it's combined with similar colors. Now here's the experiment. Let's see. I'm going to bring in the cranberry fizz. I think I have a little brush, and I'm going to see if I can add just a teeny bit. If I like it, I'll put it on. Let's try this one. It's probably, yeah, it does give you enough to tell the difference. So I think I'll go ahead and do that just to the very, very center. Give it that little extra shading right in the centers. And I'll do that on these petals too, because they're going to end up being more shaded, I think. And we'll come in the center of these. It's not a great big difference, but it is just a teeny weeny little bit there. And I do think I like that. Okay. So that is stencil number 1. And next we'll head on to stencil 2. And we're going to be putting down more petals. And I'm going to line this up with what's already here and just make sure that I'm getting it right on top so I don't have spaces. Because I don't want any spaces in between. Okay. I almost had it. Trying to look at all my petals and make sure we don't have any spaces showing up. I think that's pretty close. And we'll just repeat the same process for these petals. Like I said, this one is, there's only 4 stencils, so it does go very quickly. Oops, and I just filled this one up with the wrong color ink. Fortunately, they're close in color, so it's not going to matter that much, but let's get the right brush. And we're going to go up and again keeping those tops fairly light. This is so relaxing. I like ink blending because it is relaxing. It's like coloring. You can just kind of slow down and not worry, just have fun. That's what I like with my ink blending. I hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. I've been away for a couple weeks. I had a beautiful time with my family. So enjoyable. Oh, it's always wonderful to get to see my grandbabies and my children. It was nice. And we got to go out and celebrate. My mother's birthday is November 24th. She's no longer with us bodily, but we do go out and celebrate her birthday every year. So that was fun to do right before Thanksgiving. So we got lots of great family time in this month, which is really nice. I love that. And I hope you got to spend time with your family as well. And this last flower here with the rhubarb jam. And then I'll come back in again with the aubergine. And get a nice deep center there. And 2 more to go. I probably could have come up with this rhubarb a little more on a couple of these, I think. Why don't we just do that while we have it out, so that you'll be able to tell the difference in the shading. So I'm not always going right over top of the deepest parts. And then I'll get my teeny little brush and do some cranberry fizz on these as well. And I love that all these inks really mix together nicely. Nice and blendable. The blending inks are really very nice. All of Lisa's inks are nice though. I really do enjoy using them. A little extra depth there. And same here on this one. Going around that edge. I'll do the edges on a couple of them. Just a little bit. Okay, and do the same over here. Okay, I think this will be good. Okay, let's take a peek and see what we think. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that was a good choice to add in that cranberry fizz. It just adds a little extra depth of color there. So we're done with these for now. We're gonna bring in stencil number 3 and work on our leaves and flower stencil. Or a flower center. No, flower stencils is 4. So this is a 2-part. It's one stencil, but it's got 2 parts. So one part, there's a little, I don't know if you can see the lines on this stencil. There you can see it a little bit. But there's a line that curves, and so you just line it up and then move it down and do the second part. So I'm going to get this lined up here with this flower. Let me see. Get this up in the right spot. That's always helpful. That looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got 2 different greens. I'm going to start with the woodland moss for the greens on my flowers. And we'll just come in and color those in. Bring them up. I could almost do with a smaller brush for these leaves. They're so little. But we'll use what we have. I'm just going around and picking up that green. Getting all our leaves nicely colored. And then I'll accent some of these with the other green. It's a bit darker. Okay, so now I think I'll bring in the garden sage, which is another one of my favorite greens. I have about 3 or 4 in Lisa's line of inks that I really like using. And I'll see, for this one I'll use this little brush and I'll just go in and just maybe on the tips of some of these pick up this second color, maybe on base as well, just kind of wherever it feels like, wherever the brush lands is kind of how I do it. No real rhyme or reason, just adding a hint of that second color to the leaves so that they're not all monochromatic. And I think these two pair nicely with each other. The garden sage kind of has some blue overtones to it. Undertones, I guess, not overtones. But I really like this green. Over here, get a couple. Maybe down at that base a little. Okay, I think this one doesn't have hardly any color on it, so we'll fix that. Okay, so that is our first part of stencil number 3. And then we'll move it down and work on more of the florals. Let's see. This one goes up here. Trying to make sure I'm getting it lined up properly. And that looks pretty good. So now we're going to add the darker shading to these flower petals. So I'm going to do aubergine and a little bit of the cranberry fizz on these to darken them up a little bit. So we've got the aubergine. We'll start with that one. And this is, again, we're only using this part of the stencil for these petals. This top part, it's a two parts on one stencil. And I'm grabbing up these extra petals. And then I'll use the cranberry fizz to just do a little bit of darkening on around the rim, I think. We'll give it a try and see what we think. Okay, so that's all of the aubergine I'm going to use, and then I'll do the cranberry fizz. And I'll use my little brush for that and just add around the edges just a little bit darker, not a lot. And it's probably not going to be too terribly noticeable, but I think it'll make a difference. Just adding a little bit of extra definition around these darker parts of the flower. And They're so teeny. Some of the parts are so teeny you can't even see the color difference at all, but we'll do it anyway and see how we like it. If we don't like it, we just won't do it next time. It's just a teeny weeny little, just a shade bit darker. I don't even know if it shows up on the camera or not, but you can see it with your eye when you have it in person. So yeah, I think that helps a little bit. And then the last stencil is the flower center and the stems. So I'm just lining this up with the center of the flowers and making sure that the stems are connecting where they're supposed to. There we go. And I'm going to start with the flower centers. I'll get those done. I'm going to use ochre, Albert's ochre for this one. This is one of the Pick by Paula inks. And I'll just go in and color these. And the nice thing about these this set is the 3D embossing folder adds a lot of detail onto the flower, and I think that's really nice. I'm going to add just a little bit, I think, of peanut glow around the edge of these flower centers. I'm not sure. I didn't do this on the sample, so we'll see how it turns out. Maybe it'll make a difference, and maybe not, but we'll give it a try. Just going around right around the rim of the flower center with the peanut glow. Still keeping most of the yellow visible. Just giving two colors there in that center. We'll see how we like it. Okay, so then the very last bit of color we've got is the garden sage for the stems. And this is really easy to ink up. You just kind of go through and fill in all the stemmy parts. So this one is a really fun stencil. Again, this is Dancing Cosmos layering stencils and embossing folder. And we'll see what we got. Almost finished. I am so far behind on my Christmas shopping this year. I was like, always. Well, usually I'm pretty good, but not this year. Okay, so that is it. Let me pull this up and we can see our whole panel. There's our lovely cosmos. I think that turned out, let me cover this up. I think it turned out pretty good. I like adding the extra color around the flower center. I think that makes a difference. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is grab the embossing folder and we'll emboss this. And you'll see, once it's embossed, you'll be able to see all the extra detail that it adds to the petals, which is really nice. So I'm just going to get this in here and get it lined up, which is, I like this one. It's pretty easy to line up, she says, as she struggles to line it. Okay. Now I had it and then I moved it. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to go with that. And I'm just going to put this into my my Platinum 6 over here using the D adapter plate and a shim. And I'll be right back. Oops, I meant to squirt the back of this one. I hope we don't have any cracking. We'll see. Because I forgot to do it with my my sample as well. So I'm going to move all these inks out of the way because we are done with them. Okay, so here we've got our embossed panel, and I don't know, I wish I had a better camera, but it's got lots of really pretty texture on that, and it didn't crack even without spritzing, so that's good. So there is our panel, and then we've got already cut a matting layer for it in black. So we're just going to mat this onto the black cardstock, and I think I'm going to use glue just to give myself some wiggle room since I have such a small border on this, and because it's got the die cut or embossed parts of it, I don't want those to be sticking up. So I'm going to put glue everywhere around this side. And then just put this onto the panel. Try and get it as straight as I can. Have to pick it up a little bit to get a teeny little crease there, but and then I will just go ahead and burnish that everywhere so it adheres. Okay, and then I will add it to, I'll make this a top fold, so I'll put it onto my card base, and I think I'll just do that with some tape runner. Okay. There we go. And then I die cut my, I heat embossed it in black and then added 2 panels to it. I cut 2 more pieces and put those behind it. And we'll just pop that right there. And I'm gonna have that, put that down there for just a second so it can grab. And then I'll get these brushes out of the way. And I've got a black gel pen here that I'll use, and that'll be the final touch for this one. So just use the gel pen to finish it off. And oh, let me get a scrap piece of paper to get it started. There we go. And just do some few dots around and around the flowers, just using this black gel pen. And it doesn't really matter where you put them, just wherever you think they look good. And maybe one over here. And I think that's good enough, I think. Yeah, we will let that be that. So here, this is the project for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you do, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. And I hope that you have a fantastic week. And I will be back on next Wednesday. I will be blogging again. And then I'll be here live on Thursday with another card. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.